Hi everyone! I'm so excited to be here today. A little bit of a warning. I just came out of a like a experience coaching call with Rich Litvin and my mind's kind of blown, so I might be a little bit scattered and chaotic because like obviously my mind's running still from that call. So many great insights, guys, but back to the point. Great to have you here. As you all hop on, let me know you're watching live. Hashtag live in the comments, or if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. I'm super excited to be here. How is it all going, guys? I know that there's been a lot of new people coming and joining this group as well. So welcome. I hope you make yourself at home here. You make some friends, some wonderful connections. You are live, Maximilian. You're not on the replay, by the way. But as I was saying, I hope you you make wonderful connections. You take advantage of this group. We do this every Tuesday. I go live and try and give you guys some value, some tips on how to grow a successful coaching business. But also, like on Wednesdays, we do collaborations within the group. On Fridays, you get to promote yourself. There's lots of fun things to get involved with. Max says he needs a nap, apparently. Well, Max, I need to ground myself because I'm so buzzing from that call that I don't even know what I'm talking about at this stage. But we're going to have a great training today. And today we're talking about your messaging. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Monika Stachon. I'm a business coach, and I've made it my mission to help you all guys attract premium clients, and start a revolution with your message, increase your sales, right? And become baddest coaches so you can serve more people, because that's what we're here for. Right, lovely to see you, Sophie. Hi, how's it going? Great to see you live here with us today. I just saw your comment under my post. I'm glad you're into this topic at the moment because yes, today we're going to be clarifying your messaging in 3 steps. Obviously, this is just the beginning of the work. We can't go really, really deep today, but we're going to have a great start on it, right? So for those of you who are thinking right now, messaging, Monika, okay, but what does that even mean? Well, basically, messaging is the way that you are communicating the value of what you're offering with your clients. It's the way you communicate that value effectively and position yourself in the market as the go-to person for that product or service, right? So messaging is not so much what you say, but it's how you say it. It's an art in itself. So it takes a little bit of time. It's a feeling that you create in the minds of your ideal clients when they hear about your brand. It's how you invoke desire, how you invoke demand, and the urgency with the power of your words, right? It's everything. It's a lot. So in what instances do we use messaging, you might be asking me right now. Well, on your website, in your written content, during conversations you have with people everywhere, in coffee shops, at barbecues, like I did once upon a time and got a client, in conversations with people in the DMs, if that's what you do, in your marketing, in your ads, in your content, in your team meetings, so you can rile people up around your mission with your message, on your landing pages, and absolutely everywhere. That's why nailing and clarifying your message is so freaking important, because it infiltrates every area of your business, every single one of them. It's super important. Sheldon says, message in a bottle, the police. Yes, put that on our little soundtrack on for today. If we could, we would, but Facebook would shut us down because they don't like copyright infringement. But, whatever. Lovely to see you, Trisha, here as well. Hi, how you doing? You're one of the new members of the group. Hi. So, what can go wrong with messaging, right? What is wrong messaging responsible for? Well, number one, it's probably responsible for all of those calls you're getting on where you keep hearing tons of objections. When you find out on the call that people are a totally bad fit to work with you. You're not excited to work with them. They're not interested in what you're doing. There's a mismatch between what you thought was going to happen and what actually happened, between the person that you're in front of, right? So if you're getting a bad fit client on your discovery calls, then your message may be not clear enough, okay? It may not be powerful enough. If you have low or no sales, Your messaging may be the culprit behind that too. If your audience feels confused and consistently ask you, what is it that you actually do, Teresa, then your message may not be clear. And if you have low engagement on your posts, right, if, you know, we can blame algorithm all we want, but if you're trying purposely to surround yourself by your ideal target audience, but you're speaking to them and that message isn't resonating, isn't landing for them, and that's a messaging problem you've got right there. If you've had failed launches, failed ad campaigns, and in some cases you offended your ideal customers, like this infamous Mr. Clean company back in 2011 when they released this ad saying on Mother's Day that women should really get back to their job, right? Cleaning. That's an example of terrible messaging. Terrible messaging, and knowing that you need to know who you're speaking to and how you're speaking about the things you're trying to sell to them, right? Ouch, we don't want to do that. But when the messaging's clear, when you get on top of that, when you start dialing that stuff in, when your messaging is clear, it's responsible for a lot of more fun things, a lot of more exciting things, things you'll want, like getting a steady stream of clients reaching out to you every time you open your mouth, or every time you type in this amazing post that you've done. It's when you you know, I told you it's going to be hectic because of that Rich Litvin session I've just had. But yeah, it's when your audience and everyone that comes in contact with you, you can see you as an expert in their niche. It's when the referrals start rolling in, because people know that you are the guy or the gal behind the transformation that you can provide, that you are the go-to person to solve that big problem that people have. It's, you get more sales, right? You get more sales, you get more referrals, you get more opportunities. People start reaching out to you to be on their podcast because they know that you're the person that can speak on the subject, right? Your business grows faster. So there's loads and loads and loads of benefits of dialing in your messaging. Sheldon says, there must be something wrong with my messaging, I guess. Yes, Sheldon, we spoke about this. Yes, but don't worry about it. That's the problem. That's the problem, guys. That's exactly what I help people with in my mastermind, right? It's really hard to get it right by yourself because we're so close to the stuff we do. We're so close to the craft of coaching or the craft of consulting that we start speaking a language that only we understand. We want to appear smart and clever, and we want to I love you too. I told you we're going to collab soon. So yeah, we're all trying to prove ourselves, right? So we start speaking a language only we understand. We want to sound clever and fancy and all that. And we lose people along the way, right? We're so close to our business, we no longer see clearly what others need from us. We only see what we have to offer. And I want you to hear that again, because it's important. We all make this mistake, and it's not your fault. We all do that. I do that too. Honestly, I remember when I've had a coach, and I was just babbling away at the beginning about what it is that I was doing. And when we got down to it, it was a completely different thing that I was actually gifted at, which is messaging, right? So it's really important that we have a third party opinion. I'm going to tell you how you can get one. How you can get one so to know that your messaging is clear. But if you want to know more about the mastermind, then just drop info in the comments and I will let you know about that as well. Okay, so if your messaging's not landing right now, then I've got 3 easy steps. Easy, but maybe not simple. Easy steps that you need in order to start clarifying your message, so you can communicate the value of what you do effectively with your audience, with everyone you speak to, with your children, with everyone you come in contact with, through your content, through your website, through whatever means that you communicate with your potential clients, through your emails, right? And the first step is, oh, actually, before I tell you the first step, tell me in the comments, who here feels like they're not getting the right people into their coaching programs, into their containers, into their space, and instead they're getting people who are just not ready to work with them, who are getting who here experiences like an influx of people who are just not interested in what you do? Who here hears, I can't afford it, I need to think about it, all of these objections? Who here hears crickets when they post online? Who here hasn't had a client within the last few months and is kind of like, what the hell am I doing? What do I need to change, right? Because if that's you, then it's a great time to get out your pen and paper, because we're going to work this out and we're going to start clarifying this messaging. So step number 1, if you want to have your message clear, is to know the who and the what, right? And the who and the what is the identity of your ideal client and the problem that you help them solve. Because people will, in business, we're all in business because we help people solve problems, right? That's why we're in business. That's why people pay us money. That's why people invest in our solutions to their things. And people will always pay you for solving the most pressing and the most urgent problem. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. By the way, on a side note, if you haven't figured out your niche, right? You haven't gone that deep yet. I want you to ask yourself, what problem can you solve 95% better than anyone else you know? What problem can you solve 95% better than anyone else you know? That will be the beginning of your niche. Your niche is the problem you solve, okay? So once you choose the problem, you have to get clear on who is experiencing that problem right now and is actively looking for a solution. That will be your who. So drop in the comments, who is your who? Who is your who? I like that. I might keep that. Who is your who? So who are you solving problems for? And then, you need to start talking to these people, to those who's, and listen deeply, right? Listen deeply and start to hear what is the problem that they actually named themselves. Because one of the biggest mistakes I see coaches make with their messaging is that they are offering a solution to a problem that they think people have versus the problem that they actually have, those potential clients actually have, right? We can't make any assumptions here. You have to find out what are they saying the problem is versus what you deep down know as a professional, as an expert, that the problem is. That comes later, okay? People don't know what they don't know. You may know that it's deep generational trauma, but what they know is that they keep getting into bad relationships, right? And that is their big pressing problem. Sophie says yes to most apart from the crickets. Phew. Okay, good. We're gonna fix that. So who is your who, and what is the problems that you're trying to solve? What do your ideal clients say the problem is versus what you think it should be, or what you think it is based on your expertise? Okay, instead of assuming, pick an actual, real, tangible problem that they are experiencing, that they say they are experiencing. That's why it's so great to do like market research calls before you even start doing this, because you need to know all the ins and outs of what people say, where the pain is, where the struggle is, where the challenge is, right? So like, for example, a bad example, I'm going to give you a bad example first, would be if you were a sleep training coach, right? Would be, I help parents overcome limiting beliefs about their child's sleep. So that's a terrible example. No parent thinks that their problem is that they have limiting beliefs about their children's sleep. So now let's turn this into a good example. The good example would be most new parents, that would be the identity of your ideal client, struggle with the lack of sleep. That will be the big pressing problem. Now, raise your hand, virtual hand, in the comment section if you've ever been a young parent and you've ever struggled with the lack of sleep. I mean, you're niching down, but the audience you're going to have is going to be huge, because most people do struggle with that, and it's a big pressing problem and affects everything. But when we say what we think it is versus what it actually is, we lose people. So if I all of a sudden became a sleep training coach, which I definitely couldn't be because I have sleep apnea and I'm a terrible sleeper myself, I'll probably get a lot of clients if I just went out and named the problem and the identity, because now I've grabbed their attention, now I've got their attention, now they're going to keep listening. So let's go to the point number 2. You've got your who and you've got your what. Now we need the how, okay? Because I guarantee you, as soon as you tell people the who and the what, their next question is going to be the how. As soon as you tell them what problem you can solve for them, I guarantee you that they will want to know how you're going to solve that problem. It's natural for people to want to know what lies ahead, okay? Is this going to be a tough journey ahead, or is it going to be simple? Am I ready for this? Do I want to do this, or do I not? Can I see myself going through that path? Or is it going to be complicated, draining, and not worth it? Okay, so the second part of clarifying your messaging, so it resonates with your audience, so people reach out to work with you, is to knowing what is the solution that you provide. It's your how is basically a bridge. It's a bridge. It's a bridge between where your clients are right now and where they want to be. Okay, we'll get to that one in a second. So what is your bridge? How do you solve the problem for your ideal clients? And this is again where we go wrong a lot of the time, when we are the creator of the service, when we usually deliver the service, when we are the person that's going to be facilitating a transformation, because we get into our heads a little bit and our ego takes over and we again want to try to prove ourselves, and then that's where a lot of people start talking about their qualifications and trying to prove themselves and talk about their modalities and start using a lot of industry lingo, right? But clients don't care about that. They honestly don't. They want to know how they will do it, not how you will do it. They want to know how they will do it. So instead of trying to be clever about it, and I'm not parring anyone off, because we're all trying to be clever. I know for sure that I've done a million times, okay? And plenty of my clients have. So instead, try to show them a path that they can see themselves walking alongside you. A path that's faster, a path that's cheaper, a path that's easier, a path that's easier and better than what they're doing right now. So they know they can do it. They know that it will work for them. And that's a big one. People need to see that path so they know, this could actually work for me. So a bad example would be by rewiring your unconscious patterns. Now, I know that we all need to rewire our unconscious patterns, but I'm a coach and your new parents honestly think it's just a hard to say sentence, right? What you could say instead is, our fail-proof sleep training helps them establish a stress and tear-free bedtime routine in under 4 weeks. And now it's a path. I know that there is a sleep training that will be stress-free for me as a new mom. I'm like, fuck, I'm stressed enough. And it will be tear-free, which means my baby won't be stressed and I won't be emotionally distraught while I'm trying to sleep train them. And I know that will happen relatively fast in under 4 weeks. It's already a no-brainer. And we haven't even gone to the desire, right? So see what I did there? Does that start making sense? Let me know in the comments. Give me a hell yes. Sheldon says, the right people, how about no people? Right, yeah, of course, I get it. But that's exactly it. When you start getting yourself in front of people, Sheldon, when you start bringing your message in front of people, then there will be people. And I'll guarantee that there are people in your audience right now who are ready to pay you, who are ready to buy your services, who are ready to invest, who are ready to solve their problems. If you're willing to step up and call them in, okay? If you're willing to step up like the lighthouse and shine your light and invite them to work with you, name them, their problem, their solution, and what takes us to the next point, which is the why, their ultimate desire, the desired outcome. Okay, so the third step to clarifying your messaging is to clarify and define, articulate their desired outcome. That is the holy grail, right? This is why somebody will pay money. We don't want to solve a problem for the sake of solving the problem. We want to solve a problem because it gives us a feeling or something that we really, really want, right? People want to get on the other side of that challenge so they can feel amazing, so they can increase their status, so they can achieve their greatest goals, so they can be happier, they can be more successful, right? They can be a better parent, as we're talking about a whole parent thing in my examples for today. So a lot of time, again, this is where our ego starts screaming and we start thinking about the things that we value or what we want for them or what people should want, right? Because if we have strong beliefs about what people should want versus what people actually want, then we're going to try and sell them on those. And it's absolutely pointless in your messaging. We want people to care and value the same things that we do, but we need to really listen to what they care and value. And in the case of a young mum here who is struggling with a lack of sleep and her baby's screaming in the bedroom and waking up 17 times a night and she hasn't had a shower in a week, her desired outcome is not to thrive, it's to get a good night's sleep. It's to feel more energized, right? But a lot of the times we use these words like thrive. Kelly, you're not on a replay. We're still live. Lovely to see you here. So that's why we want to find out what is it that they truly want. Again, your market research comes in. Ask people, what is it that you actually want? And then ask them again. And why do you want that? And why do you want that? And what will that result in? And keep digging into what it actually results in, that outcome that they keep telling you about, right? So a bad example would be so they can thrive, and a good example would be so the whole family wakes up feeling energized, refreshed, and ready for the day, right? Who doesn't want that as a young parent? Who doesn't want to feel some energy? Who doesn't want a good night's sleep? You could put that in there, right? So let's test it out again. Let's bring them all together. So the bad example that we should stay away from is using this industry lingo. It's not being clear about what I'm actually delivering. It's not really showing people a distinct path to get there. And that would be, I help parents overcome limiting beliefs about their child's sleep by rewiring their unconscious patterns so they can thrive. It sounds clever. It sounds like you know what you're doing. But it doesn't sound like something most parents will be investing in anytime soon, okay? Because they just want to have a good night's sleep. So instead, what if you said something like, most new parents struggle with lack of sleep even. Our fail-proof sleep training helps them establish a stress and tear-free bedtime routine in less than 4 weeks. So they can, so the whole family wakes up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready for the day. Right? Who's investing in me as the bedtime training coach right now? Please don't. I wouldn't be very good. Although I have nailed it with my child at one point. She does go to sleep at 6:30 in the afternoon. I have the entire evening to myself to do my work. But can you see the difference between these two messages? And it's not a part to you if you are right now communicating like the number one option, the bad example, because we are too close to what we do. And the purpose of these videos every Tuesday is to get you out of your thinking, get you out of your head, and so you can look through the world through the eyes of your clients. Because that's my job. I want you to communicate the way they communicate, so you two can meet in the middle. So you can create a better vision and really transform their lives, right? Because you're not transforming anyone's life if you're just sitting in a corner and nobody can hear you, right? So my job is to help you be heard. The first example was full of enigmatic industry lingo that means nothing to this very real problem that somebody's experiencing. And the other showed a really clear roadmap to them achieving their desired reality. So one way that you can test your messaging And it's funny, it's to ask your child to actually go and glance on your Facebook profile or your website, and within 16 seconds tell you who you solve a problem for, what that problem is, how you're going to do it, and why they would want that problem solved. And if they can't come up with these 4 things, then something's not right. Or if you don't have children, then go and ask a few strangers. Just ask a few strangers to be brutally honest, and then give them 60 seconds and time it to glance over your website and then tell you who, what, how, and why. And if they can say those 4 things, then you've nailed it. Brilliant. Now they became your new salesman. They'll be sending you people because they know that, oh, this is the guy that helps these people do that. So they can do that. So when somebody moans at the barbecue that they're struggling with a bedtime routine, they'll be like, I know John does that. Let me connect you with him. Now you've turned strangers into your sales team. Right? Now people will be tagging you in posts. Now people will be sending your referrals your way in the online world. If you can nail that, then that starts happening. And people will start raising their hand ready to work with you. People will want to work with you because they will know that you're the right person for them. And in the end of the day, that's all we want. Who, what, why, and how. No, who, what, how, and why. Who, what, how, and why. Okay? The why is the last part. But that's exactly what we do in my mastermind. Okay? So what I do is I work with a very intimate, small group of people, and we work to clarify your messaging. So like my client today, she had somebody reach out to her and closed her for 6 months coaching program. The person reached out to her, booked a call. She didn't even know who she was, right? That's exactly what I want your message to do to other people. I don't want you to be sat there wondering where your next client's coming from. I don't want you to be sat there wondering why the people that do book calls are terrible fits for your program, right? So you can become financially free, so you can become fully booked, so you can make that impact with your service that you're otherwise unable to do because there is no one to make that impact with. So just drop me a message after this if you want some extra help with that, or go to your pen and paper and start crafting it. Start thinking about how you're going to be talking about the things that you do, in what words and what ways, and start putting yourself out there. And I'm always here for you to support you, right? And in fact, in the spirits of Valentine's Day, I'm giving away 5 strategy sessions to people who are watching this right now. So if you want a free strategy session with me and you want to start, starting a revolution with your message, then drop me in the comments and I'll reach out to you and we'll get booked. But I hope this was helpful. This was your questions answered, an episode of the week. And what we're going to do next week will be determined by the poll in the announcement section of the group. So if you haven't already, go and vote. And I'll be back next week. Next week, I don't have a coaching session before the call, which means I'll be less distracted with my own thoughts. So have a wonderful evening. Go clarify your message and go and start speaking it to everyone that will hear it, okay? Have a wonderful rest of the week and goodbye.